Hello, this is Anti-Darwin, and I'm doing a ward today of two replays back to back for the first time, and I have a very special guest with me today, and it's none other than Boom. How are you, Boom?
Hello, I'm fine. Uh, Ready to watch the game and see what happens.
Yes, so I think this is going to be a very long time spent over here, so we better not waste time and start the replay. So on the count of three, press escape when I say so. One,
Okay.
two, three. Press escape.
Yeah, done.
Now down south it's Allies, blue color, and it's Crouch, and up north it's Soviets, rordgren, a dedicated Soviet player. He's going for a barracks opening.
hmm He's going for two barracks.
Conscript training finished. Conscript training finished.
And Boom, what do you think he's trying to do over here? He's doing something which you usually do, go dual barracks early game.
Yeah, I think he wants to get both oil derricks. He assumes his opponent will not go fast airfield, so he thinks he can get map control, I think.
Yes, because on this map it's very difficult to capture both oil versus allies players. Because
Sorry.
yes, you were saying something, Bob.
Yeah, I think it's too risky to do this versus allies because if he goes fast airfield, you are really screwed.
But Rodgren, yes, has just made two engineers. Just for a moment, I thought he's not going to make engineers.
Yeah, but that would be a waste, so I think it's the right decision to build the two engineers.
And Crouch has just gone for docks, a quick docks and two riptides. And he has sold the docks and opted for a second refinery just after that. And he's also made two engineers.
Yeah, and Rordgren has nothing really to stop him. Oh wait, here comes terror drones.
And he's blocked that riptide with the Terradrone stasis ray.
Yeah, you gotta love the terror drone secondary function.
Yes, but Crouch has managed to capture the second oil derrick in the meanwhile with that second engineer put inside that riptide earlier on.
I think it was bad play by Soviet because he was flocking with two terror drones. He could have flocked the other transport as well, but yeah.
And he's coming with some sort of an army, Rodgren.
Yeah, it's a very strange build order. It seems to work, so
And he's just managed to destroy that riptide.
yeah. And he's ready to expand, and so is Crouch. So it's going quite even actually.
Yes, but he has blocked MCB with that Terradrone which he just lost to that Vindicator.
Yeah. I wonder what Crouch is gonna do now, because he doesn't really have much going on for him. He can't really use the Vindicator with the bullfrogs there, so...
It seems
And it's going down.
that you are quite right. The match is in favor of Rordgren at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really see what Crouch can do at this point.
And he's attacking the MCV with those star status conscripts. These are really dangerous units.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the third refinery from Rordgren is already up, so...
And he has positioned his MCV for the fourth refinery as well.
Yeah.
Also, his sickle is attacking the oil derrick of Crouch. So he's really bossing this game
He's,
at the moment.
yeah, he's got the game under control, but now he kills all of his units.
With destroying
That's...
that oil derrick, this was a really silly move by him. Maybe he wasn't
Yeah,
looking at that place or being careful.
it was pretty stupid, actually. This is the chance for Crouch to come back in the game, because now he can bomb...
And that's exactly what Crouch is doing. He didn't have any option but to go with a sneaky attack with his cryocopter. And he has just frozen one ore collector.
But he has no Vindicator, so it won't really do as much as it could have done.
Yes, but he's somehow managed to get that third refinery up at least.
Yeah. And the terror drone infects the harvester already. That's bad luck. I think the Soviet players should really get a MiG. One MiG could really help now.
He's going for a crusher crane boom.
Yeah. I suppose he's going to crush his MCV or expand to the fifth refinery and do a tower push from behind. Or that's what I would do in this situation at least.
And he's spamming tanks at the moment. He has no intention to go for an airfield.
Yeah, but it's a bit... Well, it's not really necessary because Crouch doesn't have too much, but if Crouch was using Cryo Vindy, then it would be a lot easier to deal with a MiG than with bullfrogs.
And here Crouch has made an assault destroyer somehow. Very strange tactics from him, and shrinked it with the cryocopter.
Yeah, this game is full of strange tactics.
And once again Rordgren has somehow slipped a terror drone into that ore collector of Crouch.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the cryo beam was about. It didn't hit anything.
One thing Crouch did manage to do is somehow hide that assault destroyer from the sight of Rordgren, and I don't think he's expecting its arrival towards the sea refinery.
Yeah, but even if he loses it, he's still on one refinery more than Crouch, so... And an oil derrick, so... It's gonna be really hard for Crouch to come back this game.
Yes, and Crouch has realized this, and he has cryo-shrinked his MCV to this sea refinery position, away from those hammer tanks and terror drone.
I think he's going to use his cryocopter now and the Riptide and use it in combination to get the economy of the Soviet player. Oh, and here comes the airfield, but it's too late.
And now there is an engineer from that Riptide somehow, surprisingly, and it's trying to capture that
Yeah.
crusher crane. And Crouch has captured the crusher crane. This is unbelievable stuff.
Does he still have buildings to construct with, other than the barracks and the airfield?
He hasn't, no, I don't think so. I think he has crushed his MCV somehow. Rordgren doesn't
I
have
think,
anything else. He doesn't have a war factory as well.
yeah, the Riptide engineer first tried to capture the war factory, but then the Soviet tried to sell it, and then the Riptide went for the crane.
So basically
So
at the moment, Rordgren only has 2 unit producing structures, an airfield. He has also captured the barracks as well.
yeah, he's only got an airfield left, so he's in a really bad position right now. He's also floating like 5,000 credits, so yeah.
How can he lose from this
He,
situation, Boom? What's going on all of a sudden?
I think he got overconfident. He didn't pay attention anymore to what was happening.
But
And
still, I
then
think credit must be given to Crouch on how he's managed to come back from this situation.
yeah, he's gonna be confused, that's for sure.
And Rordgren has taken care of this this situation, which led to him having only 1 unit producing structure, and now he has got a lot of money as well. He's going after that MCV now.
Yeah, but his problem isn't really the money. The thing is, Crouch has nothing, so he can only hope and defend.
Yes, but still, Rordgren has a lot of money and an airfield. He has tanks policing the land.
I think if I was Crouch, I would put my hopes on trying to get my own airfield up and 4, what are they called, Apollos, and then he can still win, because the only thing Rordgren can produce is air, so the tanks don't do anything if he makes it an air battle. But let's see.
What Rordgren should do at the moment is somehow manage to destroy these 2 power plants that are down south in the seaside.
Yeah.
He's not noticing these power plants yet.
I don't think he scouted them either.
But he should have an idea,
He scouted one of
because
them.
most allies players on this map place their power plants at those positions.
Yeah. That's his best bet at the moment. And he's going for it as well. He's sending his twin blades there.
Crouch has made an airfield, but somehow Rordgren is using a star status hammer tank to attack that refinery. This means Crouch will be out of economy very soon. This is his last resource collecting structure.
Yeah. Maybe he could put the MCV in front for a little while, but I'm not sure. It's kind of hopeless.
Still, I think the match is in fully favor of Rordgren if he somehow manages to finish Crouch off quicker.
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised that Crouch even got that much, how to say it, destructed from
And Crouch has
Rordgren, because
cryo-shotted the airfield, the last unit producing structure, and used the Vindicator. This is pathetic play from Rordgren. How can he let that Vindicator come near that airfield? He should be scouting that Vindicator, and now Crouch doesn't have enough money to make anything, even only 1 power plant. And he's going for a turret, because he only has 800 credits. And Rordgren is attacking that power plant with whatever twin blades he has left at the moment.
It's a silly play. I would try to use my star hammer and see if it can hit
I
something,
don't think the
but
star
it's
hammer
not doing
can
anything.
inflict any damage to that power plant. It's far away from its reach.
Then it's probably a draw because both players can't do anything
Crouch
anymore.
has positioned his turret near his MCV and is camping at the moment with two turrets and no power plant. This is amazing stuff what Crouch is doing in the end of this match at the moment. He doesn't have any power plant.
Yeah, but I don't see how any player is gonna win this because they both can't. Rordgren can't go to the water and Crouch can't do anything, so they are
No, I
stuck.
think still that if this match proceeds and both players decide to proceed this match, then the winner of this match should be Crouch in this game, I think, because he can use the protocols to his advantage. And Rodgren realizes this, he has given up the...
Mm. I don't agree because Crouch couldn't scout, so he couldn't kill the
He does
structures.
have a protocol in the Allies in which he can scout the whole map.
Yeah, true. So after a long time, he would have probably won anyway.
Yes, this was a very entertaining and good game, and I'm really sorry I didn't notice one major factor in this match when Crouch went with the Riptide with an engineer inside towards Rodgren's war factory, and he tried to capture it. And
Yeah, I thought he was going to use the cryo and the riptide and kill the economy, but there was an engineer in the riptide.
and boom, he
So
forced Rodgren to sell that war factory. While in the meanwhile, Rodgren also crushed his MCV, so only he had barracks and crusher crane and airfield left. And then somehow, in freak
yeah,
circumstances, he also uh, lost his crusher crane to an engineer and then another barracks.
it was a bit stupid from Rodgren. He also didn't have to grind MCV because he already had the advantage. He didn't really need the money boost to get an army out fast because he already had control of the game.
Yes,
But
but
yeah,
still, I think Rodgren wouldn't have realized that he would be kicking himself, to be honest, in how he has lost this match. But full credit must be
yeah,
given to Crouch on how he proceeded in the ending moments of the match when he got rid of that airfield, and even then he was in trouble of losing it. And then he made a turret using that last bit of money and resources and selling the power plant.
yeah. I didn't even know you could power two turrets on just the MCV, but
This was a really entertaining game, but I think the highlight of the match is that when he came with those hammer tanks and with the terror drone and that army, and Crouch couldn't do anything about it. So in that point of the time, he before they were coming close by and close range, he multi-shrinked his cryo-shrunk his MCV and fleed towards the seaside because he knew he couldn't do anything about this.
yeah, it was the best option he had left.
So now,
He
yes,
had no,
I'm
he
sorry.
had
Can
no.
you
Sorry,
complete your sentence? I'm really sorry for the...
no problem. Um, he had no other choice because he had 0 ground units. So it was his last resort to go to the water.
Okay, boom. Now, for the second replay, which is once again a matchup between Soviet and Allies, and I want you to load
Hmm.
that replay and then press escape and wait for me.
Yeah, done.
Now this match is just has been played and it's become very popular, and this match is a similar game, a very unpredictable game. It's between Destructro and you, of course, in featuring in this game.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
already it's a very long game, and we should start this as soon as possible on the count of three. One, two, three. Press
okay,
escape. Now you are
yeah,
up north on dedicated Soviets blue color and going for a barracks opening, and he is
mhm,
down south. She is down south, Destructro, orange allies.
yeah, and also going for a barracks.
Yes, a very good positioning of the barracks Destructro has. And
Hmm.
he's going with two dogs coming towards your main base.
Yeah, I'm already a bit annoyed because you never know against allies if he goes fast airfield or not. If he does fast airfield, then my engineer is as dead as can be. But you see here, I put the bear to the side, so it would bite the dog before the bear would die.
Yes, but still somehow he has managed to capture that oil derrick with the engineer.
Yeah,
And once again he's coming with the dogs, and he has won that battle, that crucial battle. And he's killing another bear of
mm,
yours.
but I get one dog back.
Yes, these dogs are pretty annoying for Soviets because they are very fast. They might not be that healthy, but they are very fast.
Yeah, they are a bit faster than bears, but I prefer bears in general because they have a lot more health.
Destructro has positioned his MCV for those double refinery, so he can get two refineries quicker. And on the meanwhile, you are going for a second power plant, not going for super reactor. Can you explain why, Boom?
Yeah, I just want to expand faster. If I have to wait for the super reactor, then he has probably 4 refineries before I even get my third one up and running. So in order to counter that, I try to go with dual
And it
power
seems
plant.
like he's attacking that oil derrick of yours that you captured, and with those PKs, and he has somehow managed to survive all those PKs when you approached with your sickles.
Yeah, like I can't go past the multi-gunner turret, so I'm a bit stuck there.
She has just made a third refinery, and after that an airfield very quickly, and she has sold that turret of hers.
Yeah, I didn't notice that he sold a turret,
And
I
somehow
think.
you have slipped
Yeah,
a sickle in her main base, forcing the collector to bug out. But most allies players these days, they just center their ore collector in the middle of the refinery and the ore mine, so that no the sickle can't jump inside those parameters.
yeah, the result is the same. If you bug it out or you put it in the middle, you don't get income as long as a sickle is there. So he has 4 refineries, but only 3 running. So it's 3 versus 3 refineries at this point.
And he's got three vindicators up at the moment, while you have opted for a
Yeah,
super reactor just and going for a fourth refinery.
and I just infected the water refinery with the terror drone and lost a hammer tank to the
Yes,
Vindicators.
but he has smartly positioned the war factory, and maybe he will somehow get that ore collector, but not. He was unlucky and he's lost that ore collector to that terror drone.
Yeah, I got a bit lucky there, I admit.
And you are making an engineer to capture his oil derrick using the bullfrogs.
Yeah.
So I think both players are settled at the moment, and there isn't much going on. Both players are settled and looking for that mid game period. And you are going for the fifth refinery. Can you explain, please?
Well, the idea I have is from Bodo. I don't know if you know him, as an old player, and he always went for 5 refineries and then MCV push from behind and doing a hammer push from the front. So I'm trying to do that, or at least that's the plan.
He has two cryocopters out, and I think he realizes and scouts that with those Vindicator that you don't have an airfield up at the moment. But what he didn't realize is that your MCV is in a position to already make a fifth refinery.
Yeah. The bad thing is I also don't know about his cryos.
And he has just cryo-shotted your ore collector and destroyed it.
Yeah, and I dropped my toxic bomb thing on his one.
And a turret drone is coming and harassing that sea refinery of his. And once again he's trying to heal it with this nearby war factory. I think this time he will succeed with doing it.
Yeah, this time it will work. And he's trying to kill my MCV
Yes,
now.
with those laser pointed guardian tank combo. He's attacking your MCV with PKs and guardian. And you are crushing your those tanks.
But I still lose MCV, so that's pretty terrible.
Yes, but Destructro is usually, she's usually very good with the multi-shrink micro, and I was expecting she would shrink those bullfrogs quicker, I think, but still, she did a very good job at doing so.
At this point, I get overconfident. I think like he only has 3 tanks, and I have, I don't know, like 8. So I think I should push and try to finish the game, but it doesn't really work out the way I had it in mind.
Yes, he's managed to counter this situation, and you are losing almost all your tanks at the moment.
Yeah. And I'm letting this guardian live with no
Yes,
health
but
at all.
once again, this cryo micro of Destructro, he just froze those bullfrogs and didn't concentrate on the tanks quicker enough, I suppose. But the situation is countered from Destructro.
Yeah, I think he's in a safe spot now. I don't really have much going on for me. I have no units. Floating way too much money, like 9,000 credits. So I'm thinking like I should try to get as much money.
Yes, and now
going,
she's coming
but,
with the 4
yeah.
cryocopters to your main base. Boom. Beg your pardon. And this, and she's, and I think your war factory is in danger.
Yeah, I realized that as well, but I only have 5 flags, so...
But what's really strange, and when I watched this, I was looking into this replay, and in that time also I was quite surprised that why would you not make bullfrogs? You made two tanks.
The reason I made bullfrogs instead of tanks instead of bullfrogs is because I have enough money to get a lot of flag troopers going, so they will serve as anti-air and they can't be shrunk. Because as you can see, the cryocopters really dominate bullfrogs.
And boom, I didn't see your side of the game, I think. Were you floating money at this moment of time?
Yeah, I was floating the entire game, like 8,000, 9,000
And now
credits.
you are coming with an army. Can you explain, please?
Yeah, I thought I had to push if I wanted to win this game, so I'm just pushing and selecting the Tesla troopers to kill the peacekeepers all the time. So I'm always microing the flag, no, not the flags, the Tesla troopers.
Yes, but most Soviet players don't want to make this Tesla trooper because the Vindicator take it out so quickly and the peacekeepers. I mean, I thought that Tesla troopers are a really good unit versus Empire, but not as much versus Allies. I don't know, but in this game you have used it really well this time.
I think it's a good unit. I think it's a really good unit because it one-shots PKs that aren't shielded, so that's pretty big.
Trooper fully charged.
Also, if you wanted to squish my
Trooper fully charged.
flag trooper army, the Tesla troopers can stop it.
Trooper fully charged.
And you have slipped in the collector as well, but I don't see you winning from this situation. I can't see it. I'm really sorry, Boom, but I can't see you winning from this situation. Because he has a war factory, he has an airfield
Yeah,
and barracks, and there is this big sea area. Even if you manage to get everything right, he will run to the sea, obviously.
yeah, that was what I was thinking as well.
Fully charged.
If he runs to the sea, then I'm fucked. But
And you are winning the micro moments at the moment. You have just destroyed the barracks and spamming this Tesla troopers. And he has
yeah, they are really
cryo-shotted, but
strong.
strangely this Destructro, she isn't moving her MCV, she isn't realizing the threat. I don't understand her. I don't understand, really I don't understand.
Yeah, I was a bit confused as well with the MCV thing. I think the Allies
Maybe
player
you
got
would have thought that
overconfident.
she has
Like,
made a
there's no
dog
way I
snare
can
in the
lose it.
seaside and there is a backup plan or something. But this is really shocking play and some really carelessness, and I don't know what was going on in the mind. I think some players they just they think if they are out microed in a certain situation in the match, they think that it's worth that you just lose the match because they have this psyche that you have to win those micro moments, and I think Destructro is one of those players. Because Boom, if you
Mhm.
can see analyze the ending, I think she really should have just moved her MCV to the seaside like Crouch did in the previous match.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think the problem was at that point you don't think you can even lose against someone who only has one production structure.
Yes, yes,
So
that's
maybe
right,
too
Boom. But
confident.
maybe she thought that you have a backup docks or something or some other, but with vindicators and everything, she was scouting the whole map. And I think this was just a genuine mistake. We are human beings and everybody does mistakes, I suppose. This was a really bad game for her, I think.
Yeah, well, she was owning me for the largest part of the game. I was stuck after I lost the MCV. Uh, I couldn't really do anything against the
Boom,
Cryos, but
I want to ask you an honest
then the
opinion
flag.
in both these matches. I think the onus is that one player, Crouch in example over here, he realizes the situation and he moves his
Mhm.
MCV to the seaside and somehow manages to survive that onslaught from rordgren and destroys all the production structures.
Yeah,
While on the other hand, there is a player who has sealed the match. He has done everything right. And then in one mistake of just not going to the seaside and grabbing the opportunity and finishing off the match, I think this was a really the difference maker. And both games have the same thing that's happening, but by different players.
yeah, yeah. In both games, it's like this. One guy is clearly winning, and then he starts to play sloppy and thinks like, oh, I've won. I don't really have to focus anymore. And that's the point where you can really
Yes,
lose
Boom, I'm
one
really
game.
thankful for your presence over here, and thank you so much for coming and uh, doing this board with me. Thank you.
Th-
I'm
and
gonna
thank you
sign
for
off
having
now.
me.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya.